All right, Jackie, it looks like our culminating activity here is Best Picture. They can nominate up to 8 films, up to 10 films, but they only nominated 8 this year.
Which, why did they decide? I know they have a formula of you've got to get so many votes as number one, et cetera, to make. But it's just like,
if you're gonna push it to 10,
then put there are 2 more movies out there. Right. Believe me,
you and I could find 2 more to throw in there and probably take a few
Holmes.
off. Oh, Mr. Holmes, I'm gonna see it as soon as this show.
Really?
I respect your opinion.
Oh, I did love it. But and I should have said Ian McKellen should have definitely been included in the best actor.
Okay.
Yeah, I really do. But it got really great reviews, but it was a art house movie, and it didn't get wide distribution. And in the places where it did, it came to our area for a very short time, and nobody saw it.
Nobody saw it, unfortunately, for Mr. Holmes. But the 8 that are nominated: The Revenant, Spotlight, Big Short, Mad Max, Martian, Room, Bridge of Spies, and Brooklyn. So those are the 8 that we're going to talk about in just a minute. But before we do, we want to talk about
Mr.
some
Holmes.
that weren't nominated. Mr. Holmes could be on your
and you
list.
have some.
I do. I want to throw. We talked briefly about this one. I thought Ex Machina was great. It was such an interesting.
It is going to be a cult
idea.
film.
I agree.
It is going to be a cult film. People are going to go to midnight showings of that movie.
Yeah.
Oscar
Isaac. Is that his name? The male star? Yeah, he's great. He's done some great films in the last year and a half, 2 years.
Yeah, he was in Star Wars.
Yeah, I didn't even recognize him at first. I was like, "What? That's him?" Yeah,
well, of course, there are a lot of people who were really upset that Star Wars isn't on that list. Of Best Picture.
If they want to make up for things like Sylvester Stallone and DiCaprio, then I think you could throw Star Wars in for 40 years of achievement.
But let me tell you something. Just a quick story. I'm in the Broadcast Film Critics Association. In order to be, we announce a year ahead that here's our schedule. We have nominations on such and such a date, and we all get to nominate in the categories, and then we have final voting on such a date. And if you haven't gotten the group a copy of that movie or arranged a screening of that movie, then you are out of the loop.
Out of luck, yeah.
Out of loop. Well, Star Wars did not send out screeners. And they did not hold screenings.
Right.
And so when we all voted on our nominations, Star Wars did not get nominated.
Wow.
And then they came out, and we have a television show where we give out the Broadcast Film Critics things now, the Critics' Choice Awards. And so the group went out and said, what do you think? There's been such an uproar that we could, if you had been able to see Star Wars, this was before the final nomination. We voted our nominations before it had been released. Would you have put Star Wars in there? And people wrote back, I went, no. Because I thought, you didn't send me a screener, you didn't arrange a screening, you don't get my vote.
So that kind of hurt them.
But then the Broadcast Film Critics included it. And it went on the nominees, but it didn't win.
Right, and they obviously thought about that. They thought that was a good strategy.
Yeah, they didn't want to get it out there early, and then you live by the rules, you die by the rules.
Absolutely. I'm going to throw one out there that I think I don't know if you'll agree, but I think you did like it. I loved it. I know this might sound crazy, but growing up, this was such a huge influence in my life. Straight Outta Compton.
Oh!
You liked it?
I loved that movie.
Yeah, I can't believe that.
I went into it thinking, I'm not going to like this movie. I will say this, Ice Cube.
Yep. His son
looked just like him.
Yep. Eazy-E, who
I
played him,
interviewed Ice Cube a few years ago. He is one of the nicest people you would ever meet. Super talented, got a genius for business, for the music world, for acting, everything. And his son looked just like him. He was playing his father in. But I am not into that kind of music. I don't like anti-police lyrics, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
And that music changed my life, believe it or not.
Really?
It did. Yeah.
In what way?
In that's the music that I listen to. And I have since it came out. Yeah, it was.
So you did like the movie?
Oh, I loved it more than you could possibly imagine.
And how it could not get.
Yeah, it's to me.
It was on my top 10 list.
So was it really?
Oh yes.
Can I get another fist bump? Yeah, that is impressive.
The old man liked to move like that.
Yeah, I am. And this one, I actually don't have children, but I actually shed a tear at this movie. I went with my best friend and his wife and their 3 children. Some of the kids didn't even understand how powerful this movie was. But Inside Out, I thought was really good. You didn't like it. Wow. He's not a family. I thought he was Mr. Family Guy.
I just it did not do it for me.
Making core memories in that movie.
The Good Dinosaur.
Oh,
I loved it.
really?
But no. But before we forget to, I do think Danish Girl should be on that list.
You do. What about the girl theme? Diary of a Teenage Girl or
Diary of a Teenage Girl should have been on there.
I like that.
I mean, no, I don't know if it should have been on the list, but it was very good.
What about
movie.
Me, Earl, and the Dying Girl?
On my top 10 list.
Yeah, man.
I love Me, Earl, and the Dying Girl.
Loved it.
Sundance favorite. I was waiting for it. It played in our area. My wife and I went to see it. We were the only two people in the theater.
You didn't see me?
No.
Oh, no. I went to the different show.
But no.
Wow.
It really affected me.
Yeah.
It's exactly what the title
Right,
says.
yeah. It was great. And I'm going to throw one more snub. I don't know if you'll agree or not. I enjoyed End of the Tour. Did you ever see it?
Yes, I saw it.
Oh, you did? You didn't like
I do not like, what's his name? The guy who played the poet or author.
Yeah, the Jason Segel.
Don't like Jason
You don't?
Segel.
Yeah.
And who was the reporter opposite him?
He's been in everything.
He was in
he
was in the thing about the computer.
Social Network.
Yes.
Yeah, Jesse Eisenberg.
Eisenberg.
Yeah.
The two of them.
About David Foster Wallace's
Yes.
epic
Yeah.
novel. I liked it. It was a lot of dialogue. I mean,
I mean, Steve Jobs was a lot of dialogue.
Yeah, it was.
But it was Aaron Sorkin dialogue.
Right.
This
one
did not do
for
it.
you. I didn't think so, but I figured I'd throw it out
it's
there.
not on the
But
list.
let's get to the real list now.
Okay. So I really thought Bridge of Spies was a well done movie.
It was.
It was. I'm like I said, I remember Francis Gary Powers. I remember the U2 incident. I did not know anything about the Harvard guy, which is a side issue in this movie. But Steven Spielberg directed this. Tom Hanks was so good. Mark Rylance was just amazing.
Outstanding.
And it kept me on the edge of my seat, thinking, "What's going to happen here?"
Yeah.
How.
Tom Hanks is so good, isn't he?
Yes.
Does he really make a bad movie?
And really too, he's like John Wayne. You feel like you're in capable hands.
Right.
Tom Hanks is here. He's
right. Yeah, everything's fine.
Yeah. He's gonna get that boy out of that German jail.
We felt good with Tom.
But he is. He's like the father of us all.
Yep.
I interviewed him too. I didn't find him to be a very nice guy.
Really?
Maybe I got him on a bad day.
How long ago?
About 12 years.
12 years ago.
Yeah.
After what movie? Do you remember?
Oh, some movie. I think it was like the League of Their Own.
League of Their Own.
Yeah.
Huh.
And but he wasn't very communicative, and I just it was like, Daddy, I'm home.
Right.
And no.
How good was Mad Max for you?
It was good.
Up at the top?
Oh yeah.
Top three?
Yep.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. The top three. That means that you've got.
I'll say it. Say some of them. Say some of them.
One of them was, and this is an omission, the movie that you and I both loved.
Which one?
Hateful Eight.
Oh yeah.
Hateful Eight is not on there.
Yeah.
And do you think
he's an acquired taste? I guess.
Well, wait a minute. The police. Tarantino made some anti-police comment. Do you remember that?
I don't.
Oh. He made some anti-police comment, and the police said, "We're going to boycott your movie, and we're going to tell all of our friends to boycott your movie, and your movie's not going to make any money." And I wonder if it affected.
I think the police had that much power. Maybe.
You want to sit here and say they don't?
No, they do.
but Tarantino is an acquired taste, I think.
Yeah.
Because I had phone calls from people saying, "You need to retire." If you like that movie, you need to retire.
I was so pleased that you did. I love it. It shows that he's changing with the times, folks.
No,
that age is just a number.
Django.
Yeah, you liked that too? Loved it. Right.
Bastards.
Oh, and Glorious Bastards, yeah.
Loved that.
Yeah, but he doesn't like Inside Out. He's
no.
All right, we got to start wrapping it up. Who's going to win? Who should win? Who will win? Tough decisions.
I did want to say about Brooklyn.
I don't think you thought it should be on that list.
No, it was a good movie, but the last fourth of that movie bothered me.
Coming into her own.
When she left and went home.
Right, all the pressures of home to stay. You didn't like that?
The lie she lived.
Well, she was in a tough spot, man.
No, she was.
He's a critic. He's a critic, man.
And that just changed the movie.
Sister died. Mom putting pressure on her. Guys trying to prearrange marriages for
married.
her. Right. Well, that was.
But she never bothered to tell anybody that.
It's on a need-to-know basis.
Oh.
And when they needed to know, she finally told them, and they got out of Dodge.
Did they not cast the sweetest human? I don't know the guy's name.
Oh, her boyfriend.
Her boyfriend and husband in America.
Yeah, he was great. Oh, he was great.
Aishul or whatever her name was.
Yeah, little plumber.
Yeah. I'm just so glad you're here with me. Would
Oh,
you like
when
to
they met the
dance?
family. It
Can
was
I
good.
take you to the dance?
He liked it. He liked it.
My family's Italian. You're a good Irish girl.
Yeah,
And
that
the
was a big
brother,
deal.
and the brother says, we hate the Irish.
Yeah, that kid was good. He stole some scenes, the little brother did.
It did capture the feel of the 50s.
Absolutely.
It did. He locked into that time, and she was a person of that time.
No doubt. Yeah.
Sounds
like you liked it more than you act.
I didn't like the ending.
Wow.
That was one thing. I marked it down point wise.
You'll be shocked to know Big Short started as the actual favorite, and now Revenant is. And I know you.
Where's
don't agree.
Spotlight?
Yeah, Spotlight is third on that list. Third. So you think?
So who do you think? No, who do you think should win?
I think Spotlight should win, but I don't think it will win. I think the Revenant's going to win.
You and I are agreeing too much. That,
no, let's cut it all then. Let's
Spotlight, I say should win too.
Yeah, it was outstanding.
It was the cast wise, story wise, everything to me.
Yeah.
Again, the look of that film was good.
Yeah, it was awesome.
The newsroom, the press rooms, and gosh, it had a cast on top of cast on top of cast.
Yeah.
Lee Schreiber, was so good in that film.
I'm glad that the bias, like I grew up in Boston and I grew up Catholic. They actually said my hometown during that movie, so I didn't know it would resonate across the country. But a guy from the South, obviously, it impacts you too.
Yep.
So that's good to know.
But will win.
Will be Revenant.
Revenant.
Yeah.
I hate to say it, Revenant's going to win. And we will be watching on February 28th on ABC. I think the actual telecast starts at 7, but you don't get into the awards, I think, until 8 o'clock. So you've got to see that, and you can sit there and say, man, those people, Jackie Cooper and Kevin Kuhn, were just smart.
Absolutely. We got 364
those are the
days
dumbest
to,
people.
I can't wait to do it already next year, Jackie. I get excited.
We will be back next year, and I will be back next week. But thank you for joining us for this special Academy Award preview.